Hey guys, I got some bad news. So, I don't know. This video I've been putting off making for like a week because I knew that nobody was going to be happy about this, but it just has to happen. I have to tell you that we're no longer going to be doing the mangrove tank. And so let's go back in time about a week and I'll explain sort of what happened. Basically, I came out here this morning before work just to check on stuff, and I noticed that I had a pool of water back here. So, I mean, I don't know how long the leak has been happening. Like, it could have started a couple days ago, just really subtly, and I didn't notice because, I mean, I had a bunch of stuff right here. All of my power strips and everything were down here. I mean, they weren't like covered in water or anything. The leak wasn't, you know, crazy big or anything. I just took a rag, wiped everything up, and then patched it back there because I didn't have time to deal with it. I had to go to work, you know, I was rolling out of bed, and then to have that happen, that's really bad. So I'm home now, and you know, we're gonna have to deal with this. So you know, and to be honest with you, like, this tank, it was I liked the idea of it. I don't want to say it was a good idea because, you know, you never know until you finish your project, right? But I had a bunch of sort of, I don't know. I wasn't really looking forward to this project as much as I was when I started doing it. And the main reason why was because, you know, mainly size. Like, I didn't think this tank was going to be big enough, but I went for it. The other thing was that time was really going to play an issue with this aquarium. For what I wanted to put in here and what I wanted to do in the tank, it was going to take a lot more of my time to make that happen. And, you know, coming into the summer, my life gets a lot busier. And, you know, I always want to be as responsible of a fish keeper as possible. And so that was another thing, you know, am I going to have time to do the water changes? Am I going to have time to do all the other things that this tank was going to require? And I was getting a little nervous about that. So the fact that the tank leaks, I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know. But I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, you know, the mangrove tank, what am I going to do? What are we going to do now? Are we going to drain it and reseal it? That's not that hard. It's, you know, it's going to take some time, not a long time. But I'm leaning towards not doing that because I don't know. I had those qualms about doing it, and I just think that now is not the best time to do this build. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be bummed that the mangrove tank isn't going to happen. A lot of you were really excited for this tank, and I was too, but I'm just thinking that now is not the right time, and I don't think that this is the right tank to do it in either. So I hope you guys can understand kind of where I'm coming from. I know it sucks. Don't hate me. We're gonna move on from this, and I want to show you guys a sneak peek at what is about to come here in the next month, and hopefully it's enough to make up for this tank not happening. I've been talking about it for a while now, about my fish tank office that is happening very soon. This was sort of like a random tank that I decided to set up out here, but this is sort of a good sneak peek at what a bunch of other tanks are going to look like. I mean, they're obviously not going to all look like this, but I'm really going for, you know, cool aquascapes and different aquascapes. I have a bunch of different cool themes in mind, and as soon as I get into that room and get things set up, hopefully it'll make up for not having the mangrove tank happen. So as you can see, we have a tank here, a tank here. We have a 20 long, we have a 33 long. We got a big beautiful biocube here that I need to clean up. And I think that's only like half of the tanks that I'm going to be setting up here coming in the next couple of months. So hopefully you guys can bear with me and not hate me too much for bailing on that tank. Who knows? I mean, the 90, it definitely is going to get resealed. I'm not going to just throw it away. It's a great tank, and I love that thing. Does need some new seals, though. So, I don't know. It might make an appearance. We might pop it over here, back on this wall. I'm not sure. I kind of want to put the 33 over here and not put that in the office, but I don't know. Decisions need to be made. So, you know, that's the thing. It's I really want to bring you guys new tanks and new aquascapes, because I know you guys really like that, and I like doing that the most. So, you know, this whole channel, I want to do the things that I like the most, and I want to still be able to give you guys the content that you like. So I think that's the best way to do it. And, you know, by setting up a bunch of tanks, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of responsibility on my end, you know, water change wise and making sure things actually work out well, but I'm really excited for that. And thank you guys so much for putting me in a situation where I get to do it. The 125, I know I've been talking about it for forever, but it is finally going to get a complete rescape. I'm going to completely demolish this tank, take everything out, and start from scratch. So that's also going to be another really fun project. That's going to be a full weekend job, but the main reason for doing that is just because, you know, this tank has been the same for a long time. I mean, it's changed. We did one big rescape on it, but there's too many fish in here. I'm probably, you know, going to be cherry picking the smaller fish out and putting them in the new tanks that I'll be setting up. But, you know, we'll get this back to being like an all rainbow tank or something. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, we need to take stuff out. There's not a lot of swimming room in here, guys. Even for the rainbows, I'd like them to have more room in the back. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with all my Java fern, because as you know, I have a ton of Java fern just sitting over there in the mangrove tank. I don't know, man. That 90 might have to get resealed and just like hold it all, because I know I'm gonna want it at some point. Oh, here's the Rickia that we did, what, like a week ago? And it's doing pretty good. It hasn't started you know, going crazy with pearling or anything like Ricky is known to do, but it's definitely not dying. The fish come down and pick at it from time to time, but that's okay. It's not getting hammered or anything. But yeah, you know, 125 project, I'm really looking forward to that. And here's a sneak peek at what I'm thinking about doing with the 125. A lot of dragonstone, and I don't know what's going on up here, but that might be kind of cool. Who knows? I got a little antsy and I decided to move the BioCube into the house, and you know, obviously it's covered in a bunch of algae. It was a little mini reef tank. My buddy sold me this for a super good deal, but yeah, I mean, so in here in the corner is really cool because you sit in the room over here and you would see that there, but honestly, it doesn't really fill out this entire wall back here. And if you get over here, you can see it. You know, there's room on both sides. I'm actually thinking that this tank might look better over here where Shrimp Mountain is. So Shrimp Mountain is 24 inches across, whereas the BioCube is just 20. So the BioCube might fit back in here. You know, I got this table here that sticks out, and the cube is gonna stick out more. So it almost makes sense to put this here, because this tank will then make the wall over here, it'll fill out more of the wall, and I think it'll just look better, to be honest with you. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think on tank placement, but this is, you know, this is gonna be an awesome tank. We're gonna make some more modifications to it. I already have my little Kessel on here. This is a really, I think this is gonna end up being a really good light. 130 bucks, whereas, you know, the Amazon Sun and the tuna that's for freshwater, those are, you know, over 200 bucks. So this obviously isn't as strong of a light, but I'm thinking it's gonna be perfect for what I wanna do in this tank. So yeah, guys, I mean, sometimes bad luck happens. Your tank decides to leak at a really bad time. Thank you so much for understanding why, you know, I don't really wanna go through all the steps to fix the tank and set it up in, you know, a similar way and continue with that project for right now. I mean, I'm not saying that it's never gonna happen, just, you know, in the next few months with all these other things that I have planned, it's just not gonna work. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me. And, you know, maybe I'll get anxious here in the next couple of weeks before we get, you know, really into things, and I'll set up one of these tanks behind me. Where are they? One of those guys. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you're new, think about subscribing, because we'll see you very soon with another video. Thanks, guys.